Welcome back to Poor Man Printing, guys. And today we are going to be tuning in to an interview from Volkin Crypto NFT Gaming and Kieran Warwick. They are actually discussing the land part of the game. I believe it's a separate game, but it's going to all tie in together. The land is actually in voting right now with the council. We do not know if they're going to get it, but it would be, I'm guessing it would be pretty cool to have it. Yeah, I think it would be pretty cool. It'd be something to add to the game, definitely. And guys, if you don't know what Illuvium is a NFT game that's on the blockchain where you can earn money while playing. It is a Pokemon style game, cross between World of Warcraft. There's so much to it. They have staking for in-game rewards for a token that you can use in the game, and you can actually accumulate before the game even starts by staking your ILV/ETH. It's a lot more to it. Check out the website. I'll leave the website down below. But before we get into all that, let's take a look at the token. Right now, guys, we are trading at $438.42. We are up 8.91%. Doing a little sideways trading here, but it could take off anytime. So yeah. So here we are on the interview, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Volkin Crypto NFT Gaming. He's got some really good content, and he had a perfect interview with Kieran, and there's a lot of hidden gems in there. I want everyone to hear what Kieran has to say about the land deal that we hope or maybe is coming.
Stuff. And on that whole esports thing, this was one that I heard you talking about on Discord the other day, the land sales. Can we talk about the land sales and some of the functionality behind the land?
Yeah, of course, for sure. So there's a caveat to this. It hasn't gone through governance yet. It's currently being voted on right now, and I think it will pass, but it may not. And so
subject to change. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
And just to let everybody know, if I didn't tell you, it's actually being presented to the council, and I believe they had like a 72-hour window to vote on it this morning. So we're still waiting to see what happens with this land deal.
Yeah, disclaimer, subject to change. But essentially, we wanted to, not even that we wanted to, we knew we needed to. We were getting so many hundreds of requests every day to have, where's our land, when land sale. And so we got to thinking, and we didn't want to launch land without a use case. And we could have, and again, it goes back to your previous statement of just look after the devs, sell a whole bunch of land plots, promise a whole bunch of shit, and people are going to FOMO in, right? There's 70,000 people in the Illuvium Discord. They're just going to FOMO in. We're not that, right? We just can't be that, and we never will be. And so we got to thinking, how do we make land functional and also really addictive and fun to play? And so Aaron and Johnny got together. Johnny's our CTO. He basically came up with this city builder game where there's 26 different types of buildings and plants and resource factories that you can build. And they all churn out these different types of resources that are applicable in the main game. And so none of the configurables have been set yet. So like the percentages and whatever. And we'll just use one really easy example to get the point across. But essentially, the people, to cure a shard, you require resources, which is why there's a cost in the main game to cure that shard, because you're essentially cleaning it to allow it to be able to capture the alluvials.
Yeah.
Now,
basically making your Pokeball workable.
Yep, yeah. Exactly that, right? Now, let's assume that 90% of the resources required to clean that shard come from the main game, right? So you're just buying it as a function, essentially buying it from the vault, let's call it. Now, the other 10% is made up of the resources that come from the land game. And so if I have land and I start mining all of these different resources from within that game, I can then sell that, or I can hold on to it. And depending on what the majority of landowners decide to do, that will increase or decrease the price of curing a shard. If all of a sudden the demand if all of a sudden the supply is overextended and you've got all the landowners, which I think in the very beginning, they're going to be looking to cash in on their resources, and the price of shards is going to go down, which is actually going to be a really good thing for players who are first starting off. But then
sounds like economy 101.
Then you might get into a situation where we're 6 months, 9 months down the track, and people are like, okay, shards are way too cheap. I'm going to hold onto my resources and I'm not going to sell it to the game. I'm going to hoard it and hoard it and hoard it and hoard it. Then you're going to see the price of shards slowly creep up until it gets to a point where some landowners like, okay, now like I'm getting such a premium for my resources, I have to sell them now. I can't do this. Even though you might be in some sort of a coop with other land barons that are out there who are like, we're never selling.
First to jump makes the profit. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, hold the line. We're not going to do it. Screw those Illuvium, like mainstream players. Like, we're the landowners. We're the reason that this game runs. We sort of thought, what happens when we throw a little bit of uncertainty into the mix? And you get a whole bunch of game theory that starts coming out. Then people are like, fuck, do I need to buy do I even need land, or like, can I rely on those people to sell it to the thing, to the main game? What if they don't? And it starts getting really, really interesting. And
do I buy a shitload off the landowners at the start and then hold it myself and then I can sell it later on?
Yeah, all of that, right? Like literally all of that. And so it just, it's like we could have, as I said, we could have just sold the land, and I guarantee we would have sold millions of dollars of land and gone, yay, your land does nothing for you. Wait until Illuvium launches. This is a way for us to bridge that mobile gap, which I know you'll be a big fan of, because this mini game is being built in Unity, and so it's
sorry about that, guys. Freaking dogs are acting crazy. So yeah, I had to stop the video. So let's get back into this.
Mobile friendly. We're also looking to have it out a little bit before the main game, and so it'll give people something to do. But the main thing is we're selling land that's functional, and yes, we might do the land sale a couple of months before the game's actually live, but you'll know, why am I buying this land? And so what you wanted to touch on as well is, and this is another idea from Johnny, and I couldn't believe, like, I love selling shit. You can't tell, but
this one that you're about to talk about, which is the tier 5s, I had my headphones in listening to Discord, moving beds in my house to change room for the kids, and I just stopped. I just walked away. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, it was stupid. But yeah, keep going.
Now, what he's talking about, you have a tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I've been reading on Discord where the tier 1s could possibly start out, and I know, $1,000 per plot. But if you think about it, guys, think about it. 1 SILV burned in the game equals 1 ILV. So the supply of the tokens go down, and that's what you want. You want to burn the supply down as much as possible. Make everything in the game use the token to bring the supply down, to bring our money up. But yeah, let's continue.
So Aaron hits me up and he goes, hey, Johnny's just had this brilliant idea of creating like super rare land plots. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, what if we made the tier 5s hold, give those tier 5s, we make 7 of them, 7 only, and 7 is based on how many regions we're going to have in the main game. But and I'm going to put this IIP through very soon, but there'll be 7 land plots where you can actually build an arena on. And so, as you know, these tournaments generate a lot of streaming revenue, right? Especially when you're talking about putting on prize money of like 20, 25 million. You're talking about getting millions of players and tens of millions of people tuning into these streams. And so not only do the people who own this land get a percentage of revenues from the streaming. They actually also have the ability, very similar to like the concept in Decentraland, where you can buy a large plot and then go and market whatever you want to do to all the Decentraland players. Think of it like having a spot at the Super Bowl, right? Where you've got these boxes, and the people that own the boxes, you'd go to large DeFi protocols like I don't know, maybe you go to like your chain links, your synthetics, and you say to them, hey, Kane from Synthetics, I've got this piece of land. I want to sell you this box, which is yours for a year, and any tournaments that are hosted in my in my arena, you can give access to, say, and again, these numbers are arbitrary right now, but let's call it 16 people out in can get this ultimate experience, and they'll have a whole bunch more perks than just your standard viewer who just goes into the stadium and doesn't have access to these boxes. But you'll be able to get like really intricate views and like access to things that the normal people just don't have access to. And you'll also be able to market and have like light boxes and stuff in the actual arena where you'll see chain links, sushi swaps, synthetics. And as the landowner, it's literally like, think of it as real life, right? Like he's out there brokering these deals on a yearly basis, saying like, all right, I'm signing you up to this box for a year. I'm signing you up for 6 months, give you a little bit of a discount. We don't care, whatever that person wants to do. It's their plot of land. But obviously the viewing and having like that special little area for people to watch these esports tournaments is cool. But the big kicker is the percentage of revenues that they get from hosting that tournament on their land.
Yeah, definitely. And
that is freaking huge. Do you know how much money you can make doing that in a game? By leasing your land to people to watch some big tournament, which is decentralized. It could be, who knows, it could be $100,000 tournament. But for people to get front row seat to watch this tournament, right? You could have, I don't know how many people, I don't exactly know how they're going to bring it out, but I don't know how many people you could get. I could see a lot of people actually doing that because they go want to see this tournament fight. Not to mention, there's talk about like resources on your land that you can maybe use. I think the game would clean 90% of the shards, while the other 10%, the landowners produce the materials for that. So land is a big deal. But like I said, one SILV equals one ILV. Burn, baby, burn.
With that sort of thing, like, and to people who aren't in crypto, like me, like probably 2 months ago, like I would just like, I mean, it doesn't like, but like there's a lot of money in crypto, and people willing to part with a lot of money. And when you look at it, like even just esports at the moment are just on the grow, and there's a lot of money involved. So if you do get that ecosystem, and obviously it's all tied into the game having success, coin going up, value goes up. There's always unknowns about everything. But if all the cards fall where hopefully they're meant to, it just opens up this big possibility. Now, also with the land, that ties into the cost of what these tier 5s are going to go for, thinking there's only 7 of them. You potentially have a big income stream if the game goes well, and you have control over basically big events. So that's going to come with a premium price tag. I don't know how much we're thinking. Like I'm thinking like 100 ETH type thing, which is 300,000. I'm thinking up to $1 million, like roughly. I don't even know because obviously it'll be auctioned off. But the other thing that ties into is people are like, oh, well, that's just like unfair. But the whole system of the game is then becomes the revenue of the game, which then goes back into that vault, which then buys more coins, which then gets distributed to the players who are the stakeholders, and it all comes back around. So it's sort of one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Exactly. Just like I said, it goes back to the stakeholders. Burn the token, Give us the money. Let's go, baby. I like it. I like it.
Yes, it's going to be premium, but hey, not everyone, like not the 70,000 people in Discord can all have a tier 7. It destroys the value of it. But from having mega whales buy in and get them at a premium price, it actually flows through everyone.
Everybody wins. The whales make money. We make money. So it's a win-win situation. That's the way I look at it. I don't know about y'all. Leave comments down below. I mean, how do you look at it?
100%. Yeah. You know, look, you can buy a ticket to the Super Bowl and it's going to cost you a hell of a lot. To buy the stadium that hosts the Super Bowl, it's, you know, there's not many people on earth that can part with funds like that. And so in this case, the positive thing is exactly what you just explained. If these plots, you know, and again, we can't say what the price is going to be because you get a whole bunch of whales in there that understand the economics of an esports streaming and being able to get those rights to those revenues. They're going to go for a lot of money, but it doesn't matter, right? Because as you're saying, it's all going into the same vault. And same thing with multiple titles that we release. Every single thing that we create within Illuvium's ecosystem is all held by one single governance token, and that's ILV. There's only 10 million of them out there. But all of these revenues, whether it be for a stadium, whether it be for the land sale, you know, whatever it is, it's going to go back to the stakeholders, to the community. And so you never need to worry. Like, it's always a conversation that I have with people like, oh, but what if I can't afford land? It's like, if you can't afford land, and when we do the buyback on ILV and you get those distributions, you're not going to be crying to me. You're going to be coming back being like, oh, I'm glad they went for 10 times more than I thought, because look at how much money we have now.
Exactly. I will probably not be able to buy land. I'm going to try, but if it's too high, then I'm not really worried about it, you know, because I know it's going to get bought up and I know it's going to be burning. And all that revenue goes back to the stakers. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. So it's not like it's going to this centralized entity that you don't have access to and you're just like, well, this is bullshit. It's unfair.
Yep. 100%. And maybe that's one little closing. I've held you for way too long already, but just you mentioned multiple titles and stuff like that.
So I'm going to pause it right here, but I'm going to actually show you the leak part of this video instead of telling you about it. I mean, it's only right.
This is an ecosystem that we're going to be part of for the next 5 to 10 years. And the last thing that I'll say, and this is something that we literally decided as a management team, and no one knows this is a leak to you, and this is going to be coming out literally in the next couple of days. But the management team has decided to tack on an additional 2-year lock to their tokens as well. Ooh. And that's for us to say, we're not fucking around here. We are not trying to get in and get rich quick. Like, we're here for the long haul. And we think by the upper management, we don't want to ruffle any feathers with our team members who have come on and whatever. 100%. They've got agreements.
They're workers. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. I didn't want to make the video too long. I know it's a lot of talk about the land, but I wanted everybody to hear it. But just to let y'all know that, well, they just locked up their tokens for another 2 years. So does it sound like a rug pull? No, sure don't. Sounds like they in it for the long haul. Land, I think it would be great. I really do. Would they control the materials for the shards? Probably. But I mean, everybody controls everything in the real world, don't they? So I mean, what's the difference? It's a win-win situation. So I'm all for land. Leave a comment down below what you think about land. Give me some gripes, complaints, or yes, if you think it's great, let me know. But yeah, this is Pull Man Printing. Out.